Hi and welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to be dealing with this another question from the unit of social stratification mobility. This 2024 mains question, and it says, what is social mobility? Critically examine the classification of closed and open models of social stratification. Right. So let's get started with this. So how do we break down this question? We shall take a look at what are the keywords that are used in this question: social mobility, closed models, and open models. And the directive word used is critically examine, which basically means for us that we should evaluate both the merits and the limitations. We should also examine the opposite view, as it says critically. We should also examine the opposite view to whatever is said in the statement. Now, what does the examiner expect out of us? Well, first of all, that we have a clear understanding of what is social mobility and its significance, that we are able to give examples and citations, and that we are able to cover the critical perspective, the opposite view, and we have a well-ordered structure to the answer. So, what are we going to write to start with? First of all, we are going to start by defining social mobility. Now, in my model answer that you can download, that I've written from the YouTube link below, so you can just down click on it and you have a downloadable answer. I've used a definition given by P.A. Sorokin. And this definition given by Sorokin says that social mobility refers to any transition of an individual, or it could be of a social object, and by social object he means anything such as social institution even, or cultural value. So that could mean, let's just say, the economy is becoming more important, let's just say, and maybe religion is becoming lesser important. So the transition could happen of social mobility between various different social institutions also, or values. Maybe innovation or creativity is becoming more important and collectivism is becoming lesser important. So we have a definition given of social mobility which refers to transition in the position of an individual, social object or value. And for Sorokin, he likes to say that this is for any object whatsoever. So he wants to describe both vertical and horizontal social mobility. As you may already know, that vertical mobility refers to people moving up or down within, let's just say, a class structure or power structure or a structure of social statuses. Right? It could be anything. So, for example, the Prime Minister of the country, by his account, was a tea vendor before, and then he rose up eventually to become the Prime Minister. So this is upward vertical social mobility. Or let's just say there is a businessman who, because of a stock market crash, fell down from a rich position to becoming, let's just say, somewhere low in society. So this is called vertical mobility, moving up or down. Horizontal mobility is, let's just say, if somebody is a tea vendor before and let's just say they become a vegetable vendor later. So not much has changed in terms of class or social status. So that is horizontal mobility. Okay. So we are going to explain that as to what is social mobility, right, in our first paragraph. And we're going to briefly say why mobility is crucial for understanding social stratification and societal dynamics, because it lets us know how meritorious maybe a society is, how open to change it is, and allows people, let's just say, on account of merit to move up or down. So then we're going to come to a second paragraph, and we are going to talk about closed and open models of stratification. First of all, closed. We're going to say, what do we mean by a closed model? And this kind of a system is where there is very less, minimal or no scope of social mobility, and the social roles and positions of people are mostly ascribed, that is allocated to them at birth. Maybe it could be on the basis of gender, could be on the basis of caste, could be on the basis of race, could be on the basis of religion, or whatever else. And we could take examples of the traditional caste system or the feudal estate system of medieval Europe as examples of what closed systems can be. Open systems is what we'll describe next. We will say, theoretically at least, they seem to be merit based, that based on people's education or experience, people are able to rise up or maybe come down within the social hierarchy. And we say that modern societies, democratic ones, post industrial ones, seem to be offering more opportunities based on merit, at least theoretically. Merit determined by your innovation or creativity, ingenuity, or maybe your educational attainment. So, those models which provide for significant scope for social mobility are open models, stratification. Now, we'll provide the opposite view, the critique. For the open models, we'll say, they can be really theoretically meritorious, but there can be a lot of structural, systematic inequalities on the basis of race, gender, economic background, which can actually be limiting the social mobility. Durkheim had referred to it with his concept of forced division of labor, where he said that all these various different types of factors can play a role rather than merit. Now, with regards to closed systems, the critical of the opposite view, we may say such closed systems may not really entirely be closed. They may offer significant opportunities for social mobility. For example, in the traditional caste system also, there was the provision of Sanskritization, which is when some so-called lower castes end up emulating or copying the ways of life of the so-called upper caste, and over a period of time the community acquires higher social status. So that process is called Sanskritization, coming from the word Sanskrit, language spoken by the so-called upper castes. So proximity meaning closeness to power. Kings who have acquired power were able to improve their own social status by Brahmanic pronouncements, or communities which were closer to power centers. Or socio-historical factors, simply like wars. For example, in states like Punjab or Haryana, right, where there were a lot of invasions through these states of people coming into India, there's a lot of wars, and farmers, which are the most numerous community, often end up changing for warriors fighting in the wars, because you need people. And so there is a changing dual status between farmers who also claim Kshatriya status. Right. So our point being that there were multiple avenues for social mobility. Closed systems are not entirely closed. And then we have a conclusion. Summary. We may say that open and closed systems both more like exist across a spectrum. Open systems are not completely open, closed systems are not completely closed, and these are often questions of degree of mobility, which are influenced by various factors: social, economic, and cultural. So for this answer, what you can do is you can look at the model answer if you want to, from the link that is provided below within this YouTube video description. Right, you can click on that, and also please do subscribe and do like and do share and comment. Right, that would keep the engagement going for us. Thank you so much, and see you later.